Apparently we're live here on the old YouTube live streaming. I find it quite hilarious that YouTube has instituted caps on the number of people who can follow your live stream based on how many subscribers you have. In other words, if you have a small following, you can't enjoy the full live stream features, only if you have more followers, which means whoever is new is limited to growing their channel, like significantly limited, and whoever has larger channels is welcome to grow them faster, thus making those who already have larger channels have a leg up over the leg up that they already have over small channels who already have a leg down and now have an additional leg down against the channels that they are competing with. Yes, that's YouTube for you. One of the most cliquish sites in the world, and operating like the elementary school system that it basically is. It's even worse than that, but it's kind of elementary school schoolyard mentality, right? It's all very cliquish, not just clickbait, but cliquish, and it's hilarious. So there's that, you guys. So they've implemented those quote-unquote features in order to make it a better experience. I think this thing is trying to get a picture of me. Well, good luck. Apparently I'm silhouetted from the sun. But, yeah. So, let's see what's going to record now. I have to rotate the device. So what? So you can record the sun. Okay, rotate the device. Not really sure what it's trying to do. In any case, whether you can see me or not, I really can't see because I'm looking into the sun here. Probably a horrible quality video because it's recording from the bad camera. It's life. These are random stream of thoughts, but it's really not a random stream of consciousness. It's a commentary about all the live stream caps. No cap with a cap. A Web3 NFT cap, by the way. And yeah, that's a Fidgetal NFT product right there. Fidgetal, that's right. A mixture of physical and digital. Fidgetal, funny sounding word. So in a minute or less, think about the reasons why, if you were running a channel on a platform like YouTube, you would want it to be quote-unquote capped or limited for your safeguarding. That's a heck of a way to engineer the words to try to convince people that it's for their own good, that they don't have access to the full features of their live streaming app, right? It's really bogus and silly. You could make it gamified in a way that encourages them to do certain things in order to gain access, but limiting people access to features based on the number of people who follow them is really just an absolutely horrible way to encourage cliquish behavior. And I don't mean clicking a button behavior, I mean like small groups, you know, small affinity groups, friend groups, whatever, what they call cliques in high school, right? A little clique, which is a small group of people, or in elementary school, that kind of thing. And why would they encourage that? Well, because YouTube, like every other social media platform, and it is a social media platform of sorts, and it's also the world's second largest search engine after Google, which is also owned by the same company as YouTube, right? The point is that these social media platforms are encouraging terrible behavior. By that I mean they encourage snarky comments, they encourage low quality content, they encourage content that is not just not intellectual, but even anti-intellectual. And sure, you're going to point to the exceptions, but there's these great interviewers who do long-form videos, or these great YouTubers who do long-form videos, make long videos and everything else. Sure. Now, compare that to the actual content in many of the videos that are even long-form. And then compare that to the amount of short-form videos. And see where the attention span is going. Is it getting longer and better, or shorter and lower quality? And are people glomming to low quality as a fad or a trend? Or is it something that's been growing and increasing steadily over time? And you can say, well, the answer is all of the above. Yet they do have influence over what people tend to prefer. How do I know that? Well, because they themselves will tell you they can flip this or push that button, change this algorithm, and you'll get different results, right? So they are directly influencing. They make no bones about it. They are directly influencing what people like and how much time they spend on each thing that they like. So think about that the next time you watch a video. And think about that the next time you try to make a video. And see exactly where that leads you and what kind of traction you can get with your videos, whether you follow the rules or not. And then realize they've gamified the whole thing to pick certain types of formulas that they like for whatever reasons. And the answer is usually follow the money. And that is ultimately what drives their corporate agenda. Nothing against it. I'm not saying bad of it. It's perfectly natural. Every corporation has its corporate agenda. Otherwise, what are they doing, right? The corporate agenda is usually number one, make money for the shareholders and investors. Number two, distribute the message of whatever mission it is that they have in mind. And in the case of YouTube, which is owned by Google, groups, right? They don't shy away from their corporate agenda, and good for them. They're transparent in that sense. This is not a video that's trashing them. I'm just pointing out the obvious. Why am I pointing out the obvious? Because I think a lot of people aren't even aware of the obvious because they don't pay attention to it, and they think it's all right just to accept whatever's being done and said. And as you can hear all that constant beeping, I get a lot of messages. Most of them are not spam. Some of them are. Some of them are just very busy groups that I'm in. So, yeah, the point is, I made my point. I hope you learned something from it. If you have, don't do whatever everybody always tells you to do. I don't care if you sign up or not. I don't care if you like this video. I don't care if you comment. I don't care if you share. I really just don't care. Do whatever you want to do. And don't even do that if that's not what you want to do. Or something. Don't listen to me. I'm just a marketing guy. Telling you the way it is. Because usually in marketing, the best companies are the ones that are more transparent, more accountable, more obvious, more ethical. And that's what I try to do on my channel, is to not even market to you, just to present you with information about marketing. And I've been doing that for years, not always on YouTube, Been doing that for many, many years. All my clients know this. They always get the straight shooter answers from me, because I have no reason not to give that to you, especially if you're one of my clients. And if you're just somebody passing by and you happen to stumble upon a video that I made public and put on YouTube or somewhere else, well, congratulations. You're seeing a video that will probably not be seen by anybody else. You might be like the only person who sees this. It happens a lot. And yeah, they say, oh, you gotta make your video quality better. Do I? Do I really have to in order to get the word out about what's going on? Like, if you're not capable of discerning the truth just because the video quality isn't high production value, then I don't know what to tell you, but I do know what to tell you. Very specifically. And I would say, if that's how you base your value judgments, you know, like most people you are. And that's okay. No problem with that. But there's a reason that I tell people the unfiltered truth, and I don't bother with too much production value and all those silly intros and outros I used to put in my videos, you know, for fun, for effect, for pizzazz, for goofiness. I pretty much don't even do those anymore because I don't really see the point. I'd rather just get the words out. And like I said, this video will probably not even make it, you know, past 0 views or something. So I literally don't expect anyone to see this. But if anybody does, well, if you're into marketing and you picked up anything from this, I'm glad. I'm happy for you. If you don't care about marketing, yay, good for you. Move right along. You got nothing to see here. If you don't want to know anything about how people affect other people and how companies affect other people. And if you just want to know the truth about Google or YouTube or something, well, I've revealed some of them here that you may or may not have been aware of before. But again, remember, all that they do is driven by dollars. First and foremost. Are they also driven by other things? You bet. But what's their primary consideration? Buckaroos. No bucks, no Buck Rogers. Right? That's what they care about. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's literally what drives the economy, is companies that care about bucks. Or euros, or pounds, or yen, or whatever currency, shekels. Right? Whatever currency they earn and spend, pesos, whatever. Bear that in mind. Hold no grudges against such companies, for they are literally the thing that holds up the pretense of the theater of capitalism, which is a good idea. Unfortunately, it's not something that is done as much as the good idea is discussed and pretended to be the thing. But we all know there's no such thing as actual free market. Everything is so regulated that there is no free market, right? And that, you know, it's okay. It's still better than many other systems that there could be in place. It isn't the best system available, but it's certainly better than many other systems that we know of. And is it better than entirely free, unfettered capitalism that allows even unscrupulous, malicious, bad-intentioned people to do terrible things and market horrible things to people? It probably is. It's arguable, I guess, in some sense, in some corners of the universe. But I would say having things like food regulation, right? You want food and medication regulation, so people aren't allowed to just poison people, right? That's probably a good thing, inarguably. So I'm not entirely against all regulations, which means I accept that there are some regulations that are good. But I am saying that that means that it's not an entirely free market, and that is a fair and objective observation and assessment of the market. And that goes back to this whole application of YouTube and live streaming, and why they would make an app to encourage live streams, but yet they would limit the amount of people that can watch it if you are a small stream, as opposed to encouraging smaller streams to grow, at least on equal footing as the bigger streams. And the answer again comes down to dollars, because that impacts the amount of dollars they can generate, because they make more money from advertising on bigger channels than they do from putting ads on smaller channels. So they want the little channels to work hard to grow, as opposed to letting them just get an even fair share and growing at the same consistent rate. The larger channels are allowed to grow. It doesn't mean you're automatically going to grow if you're a small channel, if they remove those filters, but it means that they wouldn't be walking around with extra leg irons on their legs. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I think it's a bit of a ridiculous thing that they do this. I think it's hilarious that high-tech companies consider themselves so high-tech in the software industry of social media, when they're not really so high-tech. They're using pretty low tech. And there are much more high-tech companies in the world, obviously, that don't do these things. But they don't have the mind share of these ginormous media outlets, because these ginormous media outlets appeal to some of the lowest common denominators. Content consumption for entertainment purposes. And that means you're going to have a natural race to the bottom in terms of quality and quantity and everything else. And far and few will focus on quality over quantity. And even those that do, many of them will have, their own set of preferences and agenda and everything else that falls in line with what the broader agenda of the platform are. And again, nothing wrong with that. It's their right to run their business any way they like. Totally respect that. I'm just making it obvious for everyone to see, because some people may not know that. So again, I literally no grudge against it, and I think it's perfectly fine that they are entitled to do that. Just bear in mind why they do that. What is their intention? What is their agenda? Nothing wrong with it. It's just I'm making it clear so nobody is fooled by it. Anyway, that'll be enough for now, I guess. I've done this short for 18 minutes. And amazingly enough, I have other things to do. So have a nice day. Don't know when I'll do another one of these. Maybe a day, maybe a month, maybe a year, maybe a decade, who knows what. For now, that'll be that. How do we end this thing now? Right. Okay. Okay, take care.